Tanner, we're going to talk some equipment today.
Yeah, we're going to do a little equipment rundown. We don't always do equipment reviews, and I don't know, our reviews might not be the most technical, in-depth review, but we do use this shit, so it's maybe going to give you a little taste of what some of this equipment actually is like in the real environment, what it stands up to. And today, Tommy, we're talking about the Rogue Z Hyper. Let me just see if I even got that name exactly correct. And I mentioned I might reference a couple things because I don't have everything committed to memory.
Ready to go.
So that is the technical name is the Rogue Z Hyper. Tommy, do you have any guess what the Rogue Z Hyper retails for?
Ooh, okay, I know it's not the most expensive one, but it's also not cheap. Is it like $900?
Oh, very close, $915 plus shipping. We've had ours for about a year here in Massenomics Gym, and it gets used a lot. You know, we've got some percentage of our membership that loves the reverse hyper, and we got some percentages of the membership that doesn't really use it at all. I guess it's like any piece of equipment, but the reverse hyper might even be more divided that way.
The most extreme case of that.
Yeah, so it does get used quite a bit. Now, Tommy, do you have any guess of how much the Rogue Z Hyper weighs?
Oh God, this thing is beefy. I don't know, is it 200 pounds?
This is made from 3x3 11 gauge steel, and it is freaking heavy. And I put this thing together. That's my other big note on this thing, bullet point right here. It's kind of a bitch to put together. Nothing that complicated about it, but it took a while. And the other thing I'd say is have it put together wherever it's going to go, because once this thing is fully assembled, it is not easily moved. Because it's so heavy, it weighs 325 pounds.
Whoa, 320.
Yeah, 325 pounds, this big beefy.
Let's look at how wide this thing actually is. Like, you stand there.
Yeah, and I'm a pretty wide guy, so like, you know.
It's big. I mean, is it 3 feet across?
Yeah, like actually let me look up the full foot. The other thing, like this does take up a footprint. You know, if you're a garage gym guy, a home gym guy, I don't know that this is going to be the solution. The footprint, it says, is 51.5 inches by 43. So we're 43 inches wide here, almost 4 feet, and then over 4 feet the other direction. So it takes up some space, but at a place like Massenomics Gym, I actually love it because I want big commercial grade heavy duty equipment. So I like it for that purpose, you know, something that's going to be built to last when it gets put through the ringer. Let me show you something about it. I didn't even know this when I bought it. Why is this called the Rogue Z Hyper? I'll show you why this came to me one day.
The insider tips here.
Right here. You see this bracket that holds the whole thing together?
That almost looks like the letter Z.
Yeah, Zorro wasn't here. This is intentional. That's why it's the Z Hyper. It's got 2 of those brackets on each side. Well, actually, there's technically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of those brackets that really holds this thing together. So there's a lot of bolts. You'll see there's 1, 2, 3, 7 of those times 4, basically. Now that one's not quite a Z in the back, but you get the idea. But I was walking by it one day, I'm like, that's why it's the Z Hyper. I took that for granted, maybe. Other important features, it does come with the Spud ink.
Okay, that was going to be my question. Yeah. Does it come with a belt?
It does come with of course, we love Spud ink around here. It comes with the Spud ink strap, which we, of course, love. And then another feature about this reverse hyper that some others may not have is the handles are adjustable here. Oh. Just a pin. Although I would say, in practice, I don't see these getting adjusted by people all that often.
That seems like a set it and forget it kind of thing.
That's kind of what it's like. It's almost like some of the adjustments on...
Not because it's not nice, but that's not what needs to be adjusted.
It also came with these collars, which are decently nice collars, but nobody uses these on a reverse hyper. I don't know, maybe some people out there do, but nobody here uses these collars on... You know, you can see what it does, but I'm like, there's just no need for that. There's a little bit of movement of the plates is fine, and I don't know. Maybe there's a practical application for it, but I find people not using it. Let me throw just a couple plates on there for the heck of it.
See this bad boy in action?
Yeah. Just going to use a couple of these shitty 25s with handles. Throw them on here. And this is not going to be a reverse hyper tutorial, but you'll at least get a little bit of an idea.
I wanted you to max out
what can be done here, and I don't want to mess up my microphone too much when we do this, so I'll make sure that's out of the way. But a lot of times if I'm I would say this, I do not always have the reverse hyper in my rotation, but sometimes I do use it. And pretty simple to set up. Get your one leg in there, your one leg on the platform, then put your other leg in there.
Just like that.
And there's probably some discussion about the optimal technique to use for each application on the reverse hyper. Tommy, I know you do single leg reverse hyper quite a bit, don't you?
Yeah, single leg's a good variation too.
Yeah, some people will load this bitch up
I think
and let it go.
I definitely don't know the finer points of the reverse hyper.
Right.
I'm not a close disciple of Westside, but I think the one tip is just try to take the momentum out of it.
Yeah, because if you use the momentum to your advantage, you can like
you
literally
can put plates on plates on there.
Yeah. Where if you hold it at the top a little bit and then control it even just a bit on the way down.
Yep, you can make lightweight really hard.
For sure. This won't come necessarily with everyone's Z Hyper, but this does have a Massenomics Drink Spotter XL on it, one of the new XL drink spotters. That is sold separately, and as a matter of fact, it's actually sold through Massenomics.com exclusively.
In true reverse hyper fashion, it is good for holding drinks, but the drinks are meant to be held on the side of
and
it.
A lot of people, what they do in Massenomics gym, put their phones in this thing.
Also a great use for it.
And then it doesn't go on top of the table.
Right.
Because we all know...
Keeps your workspace open there.
Reverse hypers are classically the gym workbench, right? Where there's shaker cups,
what they're good at.
coats, bags. That happens a little bit here, but people do actually use this thing, so it can't really get monopolized like that too much.
All right, so the ultimate question now with this thing is this the one to buy? Because there are several of them, several price levels, several sizes.
Yeah.
Is this the one to get?
That's a tough question. I would say it depends, right? That's the classic answer. It depends.
Here.
But for Massenomics Gym, yes, I'm happy with this choice. We could have spent twice as much and got maybe something that tilts and does some other things, but beefy, high quality, built to last, without breaking the bank at under $1,000. I like all those aspects of it. It works really well. A trusted company in Rogue, but also like. Maybe if you're a home gym, they make like the Scout one, and you don't have near as much room for this thing. You don't want a 400-pound reverse hyper taking up 20% of your gym. So in those applications, I could see not going with something this big. And the flip side of the coin, if you are an enormous reverse hyper guy, it's like one of your top 5 movements that you do, and you swear by it and you've done it for years, maybe you do want the $2,000 reverse hyper version too. I could justify it then in those cases too. So for us, yes, this is the one. I think we made the right choice. This is like Neo, the one.
It is the one.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a solid choice. It'll probably be here longer than we are, Tommy.
It will outlast everyone.
Yeah.
It'll be sitting somewhere with some strength toe plates.
That's right. For years. It's not with all this equipment. We're not. I mean, I may have bought this really, but
it's
I'm
just
like
our turn. Though.
It's just our turn. It's just our turn with it. So yeah, check this out on Rogue site. We're not paid to talk about this or anything, of course, but we just wanted to give you our little rundown because it's kind of an interesting piece of equipment, I think. So check it out there. Make sure to check out all of the Massenomics YouTube videos. We do have a playlist of just basically equipment reviews if you're into this sort of thing. Equipment reviews or equipment just like overviews is what some of ours are, even is how I would describe them. Then we got a whole bunch of other stuff. We've got training footage. We've got vlogs. We go on these wacky, zany adventures all the time to all different corners of the Midwest, so you can keep up with our antics there. Make sure to check out the Massenomics podcast. New episodes every single Monday from now until the end of time. Make sure you're liking this video. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think of the Z Hyper. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. We'll catch you next time.